Welcome to the Minute of Strength. Today we're going to try something new. We're working with a new concept called Punch TV, and what you'll see on Punch TV are different segments. First segment that we'll be working on is called Corrective Strategies, and this is just a preview of what you might see there. Corrective strategy for me is teaching an actual exercise to correct a deficient movement pattern, if you will. Keep it simple. If you can't do something, teach an exercise to enable you to do it. All right. For instance, the screening process that we use here at Punch, and many of our instructors around the country use this as well. Use the exercises themselves as the screening process. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Taking a Turkish get-up and taking the 7 movement patterns that we've created to create the exercise itself, you can break down each step and identify a problem and fix it by teaching the exercise, or in some cases teaching another exercise, progressing to either maybe a more difficult exercise or regressing to something a little more basic to teach the move itself. Here's what I mean. I get ready for a basic Turkish get-up. I pack my shoulders, I squeeze my shoulder blades together. I push off my left foot and I'm going to get up on my right elbow. In most cases, when you first teach this, there's a disconnect in people's core. Elite athletes have this more than I'd like to see. I'm surprised at it actually, where I have elite athletes that will have trouble activating their core in conjunction with their lower and upper body to get up on the elbow. So it might look something like that. Or they try to roll onto their side instead of just being able to punch the bell up to the ceiling, activate your core, and get up on the elbow. That's what's supposed to happen. But let's say it doesn't. It's just ugly. They can't seem to figure out how to do that. First, we take the weight away. Make sure the weight is not the issue. Focus on the hand and still try to roll up. Still a disconnect. So one of the first things that we've done to create a corrective strategy is teach another exercise. One of the most successful has been, and you can use any weight bar. This is more about having your shoulders overhead than it is having a weight in your hands. So I'm going to clean and press from a seated position this barbell. I'm going to press it over my head, and I'm going to simply lie back and bring the bell over my chest. Come back up, I punch the bell to the ceiling just like we would do with a Turkish get-up, except we're using two arms at the same time. I push up and get under the bell. A couple of things happen here. My core gets activated from the negative position down. I'm not worried about coming up right now because we know we have trouble with that. We're coming down, activating the core, and if we can, back up. Now, if you or a client or a student has trouble doing that, just hold their foot down. Get them to understand what it's like to activate the core first as you're teaching the exercise, okay? Then go back to the get-up itself, and this is immediate, you would do this in the same session, and get them to roll up on the elbow. Now, the second thing that may happen is they're having trouble holding the bell overhead. One of the things that's unique about this exercise, for most people, they've never done it. So unless they know what it feels like to have a weight overhead, roll over on their side, get up on their elbow, with a weight in their hands, they'll never understand the movement. You can explain it and cue it until you're blue. It won't make sense. Again, go back to this same exercise. Have the arms overhead. It's easier to understand getting your arms straight up overhead with a barbell than it is a kettlebell when you're leaning to one side. Work these patterns back and forth until yourself or your client understand what it feels like to get under the weight. What we're trying to achieve is moving under the bell. We're not lifting the bell, we're moving. So what you really want to emphasize here is we're not lifting anything. Whenever we do corrective strategy moves or drills, it's always about movement, not lifting. It's very simple. Clean and press with the barbell overhead for shoulder stability and mobility. Core activation, same thing. Bar overhead starting from the negative. Try those 2 drills and let's see how you make out. Give it a shot.